Throughout Call of Duty history, guns have made multiple appearances. Some have been in Call of Duty games more than double digits. But have you ever wondered which guns made the most appearances throughout the entire span of Call of Duty history? Welcome to the channel, everybody. Chaos here. Welcome back to the COD History series. And before we jump in, no more beating around the bush. No more dangling that carrot in front of all of your faces. Every video, it's like, oh yeah, let's do this. If you guys support it, we may make a comeback on the channel. We're done with that. We're here. It's here. COD History is here. Call of Duty is back on the Chaos channel. Permanently, full throttle. Here we go. So I hope you guys are happy. I know I am. I'm excited. I feel like it's kind of a new energy about it. All the comments and all the support and everything. So moving forward, you can expect regular, continuous COD content, COD history, ranking, updates on the current Call of Duty community, updates on the future games that are coming, just like old times. Now, Call of Duty loves bringing back fan favorite weapons to help maintain a feeling of nostalgia and the community. Everyone's always looking for classic guns returning in new COD games, but which games have appeared the most? Today, we're going to check out the 10 Call of Duty guns that have appeared in the most games. Place your bets now as to which one you think will be at number one. But first, let's throw down some ground rules here. For this list, we are only going to be counting guns that show up in multiplayer. So if a gun is only in Zombies mode or only in the campaign, it does not count for the purpose of this list. And before you ask, yes, we are going to count all the Modern Warfare 2 2022 guns that have carried over to Modern Warfare 3 2023 because those are technically two different games. But also, since a bunch of weapons were renamed from Modern Warfare 2019 to Modern Warfare 2, we're going to do our best when we're counting them. For example, the Cast-Off 7.62 is obviously meant to be the AK-47, so we're going to count it with all the other AK-47s. And lastly, we will not be counting Modern Warfare Remastered, Warzone, or COD Mobile on this list, since those aren't mainline COD games, even though COD Mobile is the most successful Call of Duty game of all time. So if all of that sounds fair, place your bets, and here we go. At number 10. The SCAR. Heavy assault rifle became very popular throughout the years, which I partially attribute to its appearance in Fortnite. Now, you may not like it, but the Gold SCAR back in the early days of Fortnite was one of the most popular guns in all of video games. Since then, the Call of Duty devs have put a SCAR in almost every single installment. The first COD SCAR was in the original Modern Warfare 2, it returned in the OG Modern Warfare 3, and then Black Ops 2, before eventually coming back in BO4 as the Rampart, and then popping up in all three of the reboot Modern Warfare games, giving it a total of 7 appearances in total. Now, I guess you could also say it technically appeared twice in Black Ops 2 since the Hammer LMG is a variant of the SCAR, but I'm only going to count that as one appearance for the purpose of this video. I mean, 7 appearances for a single weapon, that is super respectable. At number 9, the MP40. German submachine gun, probably best remembered for being completely overpowered in World at War, but it also appeared in 7 other Call of Duty multiplayers, giving it a grand total of 8 total appearances. Here's a fun fact. The MP40 was originally going to come back in the original Black Ops as a kill streak similar to the Grim Reaper and the Death Machine, but it was scrapped during development. It did, however, show up in Black Ops 4's Blackout mode as a power weapon, which I thought was appropriate. Now, when it comes to the core COD multiplayers, the MP40 has been in 8 of them, which gives it a very respectable spot on the list. I mean, do you think it'll come back in any other non-World War II games? I mean, I would love to see it pop up in Black Ops Gulf War as a bonus weapon, but that's just me. I have a soft spot for the gun. There's just something really nostalgic about it. At number 8, the STG-44, also known as the MP44. It's one of the most important weapons in warfare because of how innovative the design was, and it's how it innovated what we know as the modern assault rifle. The STG-44 was one of the first fully automatic infantry rifles, and it appeared a lot throughout COD history. It's one of the only guns to appear in the multiplayer of every single World War II era COD game, but since it's such an iconic weapon, it's also shown up in a few other titles, Advanced Warfare, COD 4. In total, the STG-44 has been in 8 different COD multiplayers, and I would argue it was at its best in Vanguard, when it was completely overpowered for a good chunk of the game's life cycle, and also the first gun you unlocked in the progression, which was kind of awkward, but whatever. The gun is awesome. Now, I'm sure it'll come back eventually when COD inevitably returns to the 1940s. At number 7, the MP5. I bet plenty of you are tired of seeing the MP5 in basically every single Call of Duty game, but with how crucial it is in warfare, it's really not surprising that it's shown up many times. The first COD MP5 was in COD 4, basically became iconic in the franchise thanks to that early campaign mission called Crew Expendable, where you stormed a cargo ship alongside Captain Price with your silenced MP5 in your hands. Since then, the MP5 and its smaller variant, the MP5K, have shown up in 7 other Call of Duty games across the Modern Warfare and Black Ops subseries, giving it a grand total of 8 appearances in total. Now, personally, I still think the 2019 version is the most busted that it's ever been, but some would argue the Black Ops Cold War version gave it a run for its money. Now, I apologize if you're tired of seeing the MP5 every single year, because guess what? It's almost guaranteed to be coming back in COD 2024, so don't say I didn't warn you. Moving right along to number 6, the P90. Here's one I actually wasn't expecting to see on the list today. It's an iconic weapon because of the design, but for some reason, I didn't really think it had actually been in Call of Duty that many times due to it being limited to the Modern Warfare subseries. But when we did our research, I realized the P90 has shown up several times outside of Modern Warfare with different names. In Black Ops 3, it was the Weevil. In Infinite Warfare, it was the FHR-40. And since it's one of the few guns that's been in all 6 Modern Warfare games, that gives it a grand total of 8 appearances in COD history. Now, honestly, I love the weapon. I think it's been pretty underrated several times throughout the series. I mean, nobody was using the P90 in the original Modern Warfare 3, but it was good. A lot of people wrote off the Weevil in Black Ops 3 as being underpowered. Then again, I saw plenty of crazy builds with it because if you played to its strengths, it was pretty powerful. I admit, I'm not entirely clear on how the real-world P90 works with its top-fed magazine, but it's an awesome-looking gun, and it deserves a spot today, whether you realized it or not. Now we crack into the top 5. The M1 Garand. Such an awesome weapon. Everybody knows the awesome ping, right, that it makes when the clip is ejected. Semi-automatic rifle. It comes with some hefty stopping power, but limited ammo capacity, and the COD devs are never shy about finding a reason to bring it back. Much like the STG-44, it's been in every single World War II era COD multiplayer, and it was also brought back as a bonus weapon in Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare, which gives it a solid total of 9 appearances in COD history. It was an awesome gun. Now, it was awkward to use because of limited ammo capacity, but that ping made it worth it. At number 4, the M4. Now, I had to cheat a little bit with this one because the M4's name has been changed several times over the years, but I think we can all agree it's one of the most reoccurring guns in the franchise's history. It first showed up in COD 4 as the M4 Carbine, but since then it's been the M4A1, the M4, the XM4, the Commando, and the M34. And sure, some of these are slightly different from one another, but functionally they're the M4. They're all solid assault rifles with good mobility, a decent fire rate, respectable damage, and a ton of customization options to boot. In total, the M4 has appeared 9 times in Call of Duty history. It's one of the few weapons that show up in every single Modern Warfare game. Everybody has their own favorite version of the M4. For me, it was the Black Ops 1 Commando, but for many of you, it's probably the Modern Warfare 2019 version because it was completely busted for most of the game cycle. And with us seemingly going into the Gulf War era with COD 2024, the M4 is almost certainly going to break into double-digit appearances. It is. We'll have to update this list again in a year or two. At number 3, the M16. 3-round burst rifle is one of the most iconic weapons in modern combat, largely thanks to its versatility and the amazing design. The real-world M16 was first created in 1959, and it changed gun design forever. Since then, it's been updated and refined many times. The current version, the M16A4, is still in heavy use by the U.S. Army and dozens of other militaries around the world. Now, when it comes to Call of Duty, the M16 seems to be a very hit-or-miss weapon because everyone remembers the ridiculous COD 4, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 3 versions, but we also probably remember how terrible it was in Advanced Warfare in the original Modern Warfare 3. That being said, the M16 has popped up, and yes, we are in double digits now, 10 mainline Call of Duty multiplayer so far. Those being all 3 original Modern Warfare games, Black Ops 1, 3, and 4, Cold War, Advanced Warfare, Modern Warfare 2022, and Modern Warfare 3 2023. It's an iconic weapon, and it deserves the representation it's gotten. At number 2, the AK-47. One of the most iconic firearms in human history. It has shown up in a lot of Modern Warfare and Black Ops games, while also making guest appearances in some of the futuristic one-off titles like Advanced Warfare. Generally speaking, the AK-47 is a slower firing but very heavy-hitting rifle that can deal some massive damage if you can stay on target. Now, some versions have been kind of crappy due to the fire rate being too slow, but other versions, they've been dominant. The original COD 4 version could kill in 2 bullets. So far, the AK-47 has appeared in all 6 Modern Warfare games, 2 of the Black Ops games, and it was a bonus weapon in Advanced Warfare, and the futuristic version popped up in Infinite Warfare, although nobody talks about that version because it was dog water. In total, the AK-47 has shown up in 10 Call of Duty games. Much like the M4, it's almost certainly going to show up in COD 2024. And at number 1 today, Was there ever a doubt? The 1911. So I've done this video topic a few times in the past, and it's fun to go through COD history and see which guns come back and which ones are rising on the list every few games. However, the number one choice is never a mystery. The 1911 pistol is and always will be the most reoccurring gun in COD history because it's one of the most famous firearms in human history, and it's probably never going away. In the real world, the M1911 was first introduced in the year 1911, and has since been updated and refined dozens of times, resulting in its persisting through basically every conflict and time period. That said, the 1911 has appeared in, are you ready? A whopping 12 Call of Duty multiplayers. That's insane because there have, I think, only been 20 mainline COD games so far. So the 1911 has been in well over half of the COD multiplayers ever released, either as a launch weapon or as a DLC post-release. Now, sometimes it's good, sometimes it sucks, sometimes it's completely overpowered for some reason, like the one that Treyarch threw in the Black Ops 3 supply drops, but the 1911 is hands down the most reoccurring weapon in COD history. And that's probably never changing because no matter how much the other guns on the list rise the ranks, the 1911 is just going to keep adding more and more and more COD games to its list of appearances. There you have it, my friends. Let me know if you enjoyed. It's good to be back. I'll see you soon.